So today I'm talking about a Toyota with the P0451 code, what it is, and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Toyota P0451 code? Well, it's an evaporative emission control system pressure sensor range performance. And what does this mean? Well, modern cars have an Evap system that helps keep all the gas vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. They get sent back into the engine to get burnt off. This is for emissions. And the onboard computer's seen an issue with this, so I have to be troubleshooted to know why. And some of the possible causes, it could be a bad fuel cap, could be a bad pressure sensor, could be in the wiring, and possibly an Evap leak. And so the first thing to do when you get this code is go check the gas cap, since this is a part of the Evap system. And the Evap system needs to be sealed to work properly. And so go check the gas cap. It might be good, but just check to be sure that the seal around it looks good, that it's going in all the way, and that it's not cracked or anything like this. And if it does look bad, go ahead and replace it. If you do replace it, be sure to get an OEM gas cap, since third-party aftermarket ones can sometimes cause issues. But the first thing to do is go examine the gas cap. And then the next thing to do would be to go check for any Evap system leaks. And there's hoses that'll be going around from the gas tank up to the charcoal canister and on around to a purge valve solenoid. And if any of these things leak, then there can be an issue inside of there. And so if you took it to a mechanic, what they do is they feed smoke into the Evap system. And if smoke came out somewhere, they would know there's a leak and then they'd be able to fix it. Now, you likely aren't going to have a smoke machine, but what you can do is go around and check all the hoses and just be sure they're not cracked or anything like this, and that they're not leaking at any point, because any leak can cause this code to happen. And if that all looks good, the next thing to go and examine would be the charcoal canister. Since this has different components on it, it usually has the vent valve, which opens and closes. And sometimes it can have the pressure sensor located on it too, which will need to be checked out. And there's different ways you could go about testing these and test the valves and the wiring that's going to them. Every Toyota is going to be a little different on how it's located and the wiring and what's going on with it. So you have to get a wiring diagram, something along these lines, to be able to check it out. But this would be one of the next things to check out, would be the charcoal canister. And so if you check all that out, then very likely there is a problem with that Evap pressure sensor. And this can be located differently depending on the Toyota and the year it was made. Right here, this is a 2001 Toyota Tacoma. It's located up inside the engine compartment. Here's a 2004 Toyota Corolla, and it's called the fuel tank pressure sensor. And it's located directly on the fuel pump. But this would be the sensor for the Evap system on this particular year and model. And on some models, it could also be located on or near the charcoal canister. So it's really just going to vary. You'll have to Google it to find out exactly where it's at and what's going on with it. But the next thing to go and check would be that fuel tank pressure sensor. And once you do locate the Evap pressure sensor, first thing, check out that wiring, because any bad wiring, open, short, bad connections, anything like this can cause the same symptoms as a bad sensor. So you want to check that out, be sure it's good, and then either test or replace that Evap pressure sensor. And the last thing to mention, although it usually doesn't cause this code, would be the purge valve solenoid. This is located up inside the engine compartment. It'll have like 2 hoses going to it and a wiring harness. And while usually you'll get another code when this goes bad, if there is any leaking or anything like this going on, it could be causing some kind of effect, causing something else seem like it failed. So if you checked everything else and everything else looks good, one of the things to check would be the purge valve. And so that's basically it. I just want to give a real quick brief overview of how you go about fixing a Toyota with the P0451 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.